Yo guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to be showing you guys the best optimizations for your PC so you can enjoy Fortnite at the highest FPS possible. So first off, we're going to go in the in-game settings and then we're going to go into the PC itself and optimize it. So let's get started. So to start off, you guys are going to go to your settings right here, and I'll be just going over all of these settings and what you guys should have. So window mode is definitely needing to be in full screen because full screen is the most optimized way for Fortnite to run on your PC. If you're using windowed full screen, please, for the love of me and everyone around you, switch to full screen because you'll get an immediate FPS boost. So for resolution, you guys should be at 1600 by 900 if you guys want the most out of your PC. It doesn't even look that bad, but for the sake of me, I will be using 1920 by 1080. Next up is the frame limit. This really depends on your monitor. Right now I have a 360Hz monitor, so I have it capped at 360 FPS. If you guys would have a 240Hz monitor, then you guys should be at 240 FPS. If you guys are on 144, I recommend switching it up a notch to 160 to make sure you guys don't drop frames. And if you guys are on 60 or 120, I just recommend staying at that. Next up is the graphics quality, and as you guys can see, I'm using performance mode. If you guys are not using it, I highly recommend to do so. It will literally triple your FPS. 3D resolution, you guys can really have it at whatever you want. I have it at 100%, but if you guys are really needing frames, then I recommend dropping down to like 85%. Next up is the view distance. I recommend having it at near. There's not really that much of a difference, and it will certainly boost your FPS. So, as the textures, there used to be a thing where if you had your textures on high, then your GPU would start utilizing more of its cores, and therefore you would get higher FPS. Unfortunately, that is no longer the case, and I recommend having textures on low. Now, meshes. This is probably the highest point of performance mode, is that you get to have low meshes or high meshes. Basically, if you have high meshes, you'll have normal looking builds, rip bubble builds by the way, and if you guys are on low, then you will get mobile builds. They do look ugly, but if you guys get used to them, the FPS will literally double itself just by this setting alone. Next up, for advanced graphics, VSync, definitely have that off. It's literally a waste of FPS. You're just throwing it right in the bin. So I recommend having that off. Show FPS, really your preference, but I prefer to have it on. And rendering mode, definitely have performance as I said. Or if you don't want to use performance, then at least use DirectX 11. DirectX 12 is absolute dog water. Next up, we're going to move into the PC or Windows itself, and we're no longer going to need Fortnite, so you can just close out of it. And you're just going to right click and go to NVIDIA control panel, and we're going to start off there. After it loads, go to manage 3D settings, or before that, actually go to adjust image settings with preview, and click use the advanced 3D image settings, which is right here. Then you can go to manage 3D settings. Now I'm just going to go over everything so you guys don't have to worry about this. Image sharpening should be off, and scaling should be enabled, ambient occlusion off, anisotropic filtering off, anti-aliasing off, anti-aliasing gamma correction off, anti-aliasing mode off, and these two are blocked out because you turned anti-aliasing off. Background application max frame rate off, CUDA GPUs all, DSR factors off, low latency mode ultra, that'll improve your latency, not really FPS. I do recommend having it on though. max frame rate off because NVIDIA doesn't really do that much and it's just wasting a bit of your CPU to have this on. Monitor technology, fixed refresh. That is if you have a 144 Hz or above. If you're below 144 Hz, I recommend having this option on. Prefer maximum performance. Next up is multi-frame sampled, AA. Have that off. OpenGL rendering GPU, this should be already selected unless you have 2 GPUs in SLI, which I doubt any of you guys have because it's just a waste of money. So it should be already applied, but if not, just choose the GPU that's your best graphics card. Power management mode should be preferred maximum performance. Preferred refresh rate should be application controlled. That means apps like Fortnite can control that. Shader cache on, texture filtering off, texture filtering negative, LOD bias, allow, texture filtering quality. You guys should have that on high performance. Do not have that on high quality, please. It will destroy your FPS. Texture filtering should be on, threaded optimization on, triple buffering off, vertical sync, use application setting, virtual reality 1, virtual reality variable super, sampling off, and wow, I need to catch my breath. That was a whole mouthful, but those are all the 3D settings, and now we can close out of this, or you guys should have apply here. Since you changed it, click apply, and then it should probably flash your screen, and then just click apply. Unless it doesn't work, then just wait a couple seconds and it'll revert. Then we can close out of this, and then press Windows I to open your settings, and then go to network and internet. This is not really FPS, but it is for your network, and this will really help out your ping and a little bit of your FPS. Next, go to change adapter options. As you can see, I have my Ethernet here. If you guys aren't using Ethernet, that's the #1 way to improve ping, by the way. So I recommend getting an Ethernet cable. It doesn't matter how long it is, just make sure it is Cat 6 or higher. Then you're going to right click and click properties. Then you're going to click configure. And then you're going to move this baby over because my face cam is blocking it. Then go to advanced, and I'll just spit all of this out for you guys. That is if you have an Intel internet controller. If you guys don't have Intel, there are similar things, so you guys can just look out for something that looks similar and then just follow as I do. If you guys are with an Intel controller, then you guys are in luck because I have one as well, and I can show you guys the best settings. ARP offload should be disabled. DMA coal sensing should be disabled. Enable PME disabled. EEE or energy efficient Ethernet off. Flow control disabled. Gigabit master slave mode auto detect. Interrupt moderation disabled. Interrupt moderation rate off. IPv4 checksum, you should have that disabled. Jumbo packet disabled. Large send offload v2, IPv4 disabled. All of these, the large send offload, or any offload that says IPv6 or IPv4, disable it. Locally administered address, don't worry about that. Log link state effect enabled. Prefer maximum number of RSS queues, 4 queues, or just have as much as you have here. So if I would have 2, then I would choose 2. Just pick the highest number here. NS offload enabled. Packet priority and VLAN disabled. Receive buffers. Don't really worry about this. This will probably be for another video. Selective suspend enabled. Selective suspend timeout 5. Speed and duplex. Choose the highest number until it stops working. Just experiment with it. For me, 2.5 gigabits does not work for some reason, so I have to use 100 megabits per second, which is still plenty. TCP checksum, offload IPv4, disabled. As I said, all the IPv4 and v6s should be disabled. Along with this, transmit buffers, don't worry about that. UDP checksum offload, IPv4, disabled. Same with this one, disabled. Wait for link, auto detect. Wake from whatever on magic packet, disabled. Wake on link settings, disabled. Wake on magic packet, disabled. Wake on pattern match, disabled. Now you're just gonna click OK, and you guys can exit out of here. And congratulations, you have tweaked your own PC without the help of anyone except for me. Overall, that is all of the tweaks you will need to get better ping and FPS. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on it. It really helps me out. And if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you guys will be updated whenever I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. I love you all. Peace.